Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Honey Badger's channel, a premier silver-focused growth company. Joining us, Chief Executive Officer Chad Williams. Welcome back, sir.
Well, thank you very much, and again, I love your enthusiasm. It's very stimulative.
Well,
it's always a pleasure to speak with you.
Well, I appreciate it. And today, I really want to kind of dive down into Honey Badger's properties. I know last we spoke, we really got a lot more about your background, but I mean, let's kick this off. First and foremost, I mean, Honey Badger reports its first assays from Plata 1, that summer work program where you guys kind of released up to 5,190 grams per ton of silver. First and foremost, do you want to break this down for us and exactly anything that you think is prevalent here?
Sure. You know, we acquired this property about a year ago. And the reason is we liked the fact that it hosted high grades of silver, and it's a very, very interesting and promising exploration target if you want to look at it this way. There have been previous operators that have had good results, and what we released were assays from higher grade samples taken by others. So I would caution investors that, you know, these grades are indicative of what we could produce potentially by taking simply the highest grade areas of what we know today. What the actual grades in situ are of either known or deposits that we may or may not discover, we don't know. They may be less than that, and they're likely to be less than that. Because, you know, 5 kilograms of silver per ton is extremely high. So of course we were pleased when those assays came in, but you know what the ultimate assay values in situ are, nobody knows, and we're gonna have to do some more work in 2022 to find that out. By the way, there are more assays coming. It's taken us a long time to get the assays because the grades are very high, and also the assay labs are all backed up all over the world. So, and we're not unique. Every assay has been delayed anywhere in the world. So yeah, we do expect some more results, and more importantly, we expect to do some work in 2022 on Plata, which we still think is an incredibly promising property.
No, that's awesome. Do you mind expanding a little farther? Because this is kind of like a little bit more focused in. Let's kind of broaden the horizon here a little bit, because these properties you have are Thunder Bay, the Yukon. Do you want to just explain the scope of these properties and exactly how you guys are currently operating in them?
Sure, and I think the first thing that's important is to lay the framework. So Honey Badger will have 3 different types of silver assets. We're trying to build a silver company that is different, and it's different in the sense that we like to think of ourselves as an active ETF. We're not truly an ETF, but that's the best analogy we have. And the thesis being that, you know, we think silver is going to go much higher, and we're going to have 3 different types of assets that will gain in value if and when silver were to rise. Okay, and so those 3 different types of assets will be silver streams and royalties. There will be ounces in the ground, and they will be high-grade exploration assets, or let's call them earlier stage assets. So Plata is one of those, and we have several of those already. We have Plata in the Yukon. We've got 2 other projects in the Yukon, and we have Thunder Bay in Ontario, which was mined in the late 1800s, extremely high grades of silver. And you know, the third type of asset, of which Plata is one, we have enough of those. I mean, these are very good assets, and will contribute significant value to our shareholders. I'm convinced of that. But right now we're focused on acquiring ounces in the ground and silver streams and royalties. And your listeners, our investors, either existing or potential future ones, should know that we are very, very active. We have been very active in 2021, and we'll be very, very active in 2022, looking for additional ounces in the ground and streams and royalties. So we've got a team that's looking at literally hundreds of different projects, and the number one criterion for us is, are those ounces accretive, or are those projects accretive on a net asset per share basis? Okay, so we're very picky. We have passed on several projects that we actually got far down the road. We went on site and for a variety of reasons, they didn't pass our due diligence tests. And in some ways, it's disappointing, but in other ways, sometimes it's the deals that you don't do that create value for a company. Nevertheless, we have lots of things in our pipeline. There'll be lots of news this year, and we're going to start the year with a bang, I assure you.
So lots to look forward to then. When we come back, what we're going to do is I want to talk more about maybe some of the financing behind this and how you guys have kind of structured some of the spending on these properties. But just to finish up with 2021 here, you mentioned that you guys have achieved a lot. Is there any kind of milestones that really stuck out to you that you think you could just mention?
I mean, to me, in retrospect, we changed the board, we changed the management, we completed a significant financing earlier in 2021, of which Eric Sprott was a major keystone. Then we acquired these projects, and we worked on them. And again, we've been extremely busy looking at all kinds of projects all over Canada, the US, down in South America and Chile in particular. And suffice it to say that we've had a very, very busy year. And that's okay. That's our job, is to be busy and create value for our shareholders. We've also managed our cash quite well. And we're very stingy on our spending. And we're in a very enviable position relative to many juniors. So I would say we're ending this year in great shape. It's a little disappointing. I think the only disappointment in retrospect is the silver price is still low. But for those that are technical analysts on this call or in this interview, they'll see that it's a double bottom in silver. And usually that means it's very, very bullish or prospective for a higher silver price. I think silver is going to go much higher this year or this upcoming year. And I think our shareholders will benefit from that. It's up to us, of course, to be very busy while everybody else is dormant, which we have been. And so then when attention comes to our space, value will be attributed to our shares. And I think our shares are going to go much higher for that reason.
Well, on that note, I definitely appreciate your time today, Chad. Thanks for these insights.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the interview.
Yeah,
I will talk to you soon, I hope.
This is great. And if you guys ever have any questions, if you're interested in the precious metal space, let us know what you think in that comment section below. And down the road, we'll do an investor Q&A. But on that note, stay cool, stay awesome. And I look forward to catching you in the next one.